Good morning students, welcome all of you to second PU online English class. So today let us know what we have for the syllabus for this academic year. In English for this academic year we have totally 27 chapters. In that we have 14 theoretical and 13 grammar topics. In today's class, just let us know what are all the chapters and grammar topics we have for this academic year. First, we have Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet, it is one of the important play written by world's eminent important playwright and poet William Shakespeare. Romeo and Juliet, it is a romantic tragedy. In this play, we have only an extract given for your syllabus. In that extract, we have two soliloquies. So what is a soliloquy? Soliloquy, it is a technique in a play where a character speaks to himself or herself. In the given extract, Romeo attends a grand supper arranged by Lord Old Capulet to see Rosalind. Instead of Rosalind, he saw Juliet, and at that moment he was completely spellbound and mesmerized with the beauty of Juliet. Then he started describing his feelings for Juliet. So that is the first soliloquy. Romeo describes his feelings for Juliet and the beauty of Juliet. After the measure done, means after the dance done, the party was done, even Juliet also started expressing her feelings for Romeo. That is second soliloquy. So overall we have two soliloquies in the given extract. One is how Romeo describes his feelings for Juliet, and second one is how Juliet describes her feelings and love for Romeo. In this extract, William Shakespeare beautifully describes and even he presents a common feeling like love, and he exaggerates it and even he beautifully describes it. In the second chapter, we have Two Dear. So Two Dear, it is a short story written by Count Leo Tolstoy. Count Leo Tolstoy is a famous novelist from Russia. He is a social reformer as well. In this short story, Leo Tolstoy, he is criticizing or satirizing the ruling class. Why? Because the ruling class or the king must be aware of taking decisions. He should be able to take his own decisions which are very practical and which works well. But here in the story, we have a king who is unable to take real-time decisions. His mind is fickle mind and he completely depends upon his ministers. Even the ministers were not capable of taking good decisions. In this way, completely the king fails to solve the case of a murder. This is how Count Leo Tolstoy criticizes and mocks the ruling class in this short story. Next, in the third chapter, we have On Children. Once again, a poem. On Children is written by a Lebanese American poet Khalil Gibran. So he was born in Lebanon and settled in America, so that's why he is called as Lebanese American poet. So On Children, it is in poetic essay style. So poetic essay, it is one of the kind of a poem, but which is not exactly a poem. So it is in a short essay type, which is having poetic themes and poetic ideas. In this poem On Children, Khalil Gibran clearly explains the relationship between parents and children. So it's a very unique poem. It is very unique because in this poem, Khalil Gibran gives a strange out-of-the-box idea, out-of-the-box thought. So what is that out-of-the-box idea or thought? So usually, children always listen to parents. It means parents always guide, parents always take decisions on behalf of their children. But here in the poem, the poet is saying that no, that should not be the relationship between parents and children. So why he is saying so? Why he is saying so? Because children have their own ideas, their own life, their own thoughts, their own space of thinking. So that's why he is saying no, parents should not always pressurize children. So that's what he says in the poem On Children. In the fourth chapter, we have everything I need to know I learned in the forest. Everything I need to know I learned in the forest. It is an environmental essay written by Vandana Shiva. Vandana Shiva, she is a well-known, renowned activist and a writer. In this essay, she clearly says what is the relationship between nature and human beings. Is there any relationship between nature and human beings? Yes, there is a close relationship between nature and human beings. Why? Because human beings completely depend upon nature for their existence, for their survival, for their requirements, etc. In the same way, even nature depends upon human beings for its survival process. But here, human beings are dominating, in a way destroying nature. But she clearly quotes from an essay written by Rabindranath Tagore, that is Tapovan, the forest of purity. In that essay, Rabindranath Tagore clearly has given the importance of forest, which has led to our Indian civilization and our Indian culture. And later in this essay, she gives the different ways and measures taken by different countries on the global scale to protect and conserve nature. Next, fifth chapter. A sunny morning. A sunny morning is a play written by Serafina Alvin Quintero. It is a romantic comic play. We have a lot of fun in this play. The main idea is that two lovers who are separated by the fate, after 50 years, they meet in a public park in Madrid and their conversation started with tit for tat manner. Later, they realized that they were lovers, but they still did not reveal their identities. Why? What happened? Why they did not reveal their real identities? That we will come to know once we discuss this play, A Sunny Morning. Next we have the 6th chapter, that is When You Are Old. When You Are Old, it is a love lyric written by W.B. Yeats, William Butler Yeats from Ireland. W.B. Yeats wrote this poem When You Are Old after continuously rejected by a beautiful lady by whom he was rejected for 3 times. Who was that beautiful young lady? She was an actress from America settled in Ireland. Her name was Maud Gonne. Maud Gonne, an Anglo-Irish lady who was settled in Ireland. When W.B. Yeats proposed her for 3 times, all the 3 times he was rejected by her. When 3rd time she rejected him, he thought of expressing his ideas in a poem, and that poem is When You Are Old. He wrote this poem in October 1891. As the title itself says, When You Are Old, in this poem, the poet makes his beloved to realize his true love. How he is making that? By taking her to future and describing his true love towards her. Next, in the 7th chapter, we have The Gardener. The Gardener is a short story written by P. Lankesh in Kannada. It is translated into English by H.S. Raghavendra Rao. In this short story, there is a healthy competition between 2 persons, namely Tamanna and Basvaya. Later on, this competition becomes the rivalry. Because of the vengefulness of human beings, or because of the kind of feeling that human beings always has towards things, or some challenge, or some things, some persons. They don't know in life, but they want one or the other thing continuously till their death. So in the same way here, there is a competition between Tamanna and Basvaya, which turns to be a rivalry, and how it leads to their destruction. That is presented in the short story, The Garden. Next we have the 8th chapter, that is To the Food from Its Child. To the food from its child. It is a modern poetry written by Pablo Neruda. In this poem, he is representing a different, unique thought notion. What is that? According to the poet, a child has to struggle and suffer and fight from its birth till its death. So that's how he puts it like this. So life is a competition or a struggle between an individual and the society. Why? Because the way we think, but the way the society expects us to think, or the way we want to behave, but the society wants us to behave, is completely contradictory. So that's why there is always a clash between the humdrum dreams of the human beings and the reality, bitter reality of the society. So that is described and presented in the poem To the Food from Its Child. Next, in the 9th chapter, we have I believe that books will never disappear. I believe that books will never disappear. So this chapter is an interview between Robert Alfano and George Louis Borges. George Luis Borges, he is a short story writer, poet from Argentina. This poet was interviewed by Robert Alfano. In this interview, we have different topics and different experiences, different opinions of George Luis Borges recorded by Robert Alfano. In this interview, Robert Alfano asked Luis Borges about his literary reading, about his mother, about fortune and misfortune, about books, about literature, about dreams. At last, Borges says that books will never disappear for sure. What made him to say so? Let us know when we go for this chapter. Next we have 10th chapter, that is heaven if you are not here on earth. Heaven if you are not here on earth. So this is a beautiful poem written by our Rashtrakavi Kuvempu and translated by C. Naganna. In this poem, Kuvempu is simply presenting three notions, three ideas. So which are they? The first idea is that heaven is not elsewhere. Heaven is not beyond the sky, or heaven is not there. Heaven is not a thing which we are going to see after death. Heaven is right here on earth in the form of nature. Kuvempu, he is a priest or lover of nature, so that's why he says heaven is on earth in the form of nature. That is the first idea, first notion. Second idea is that God exists nowhere. It means God exists in the form of human beings. So why he is saying so? God is nothing but good. You can see God in the form of goodness. If somebody is too good to the mankind, then he is God. God does not come really. God does not appear in front of human beings, but we can find God in the form of human beings, in the form of goodness of human beings. If human beings can extend their good qualities, then they are the real God. So that's his concept. Next he gives the third notion, third idea, where he says nymphs are angels. You can't see angels in heaven, that is only theoretical, that's only a belief. The real angels are here on earth. So where we can find the real angels? We can find the real angels in the form of the beautiful women who are living around us, who are living with us. It means women should be satisfied with their beauty. Then they are real angels. So that's how we present the three ideas, three notions in the poem, heaven if you are not here on earth. Next in the 11th chapter, that is Japan and Brazil, written by George Mikesh. This chapter is a travel writing. So what do you mean by travel writing? If a person travel alien places, new countries, whatever he sees there, new things, maybe new people, new language, their food habits, their culture, their style, their manners, their social behavior, everything he records in the form of diary, in the form of writing. That is called as travel writing. When George Mikesh he visited Japan and Brazil, what made him interesting or what seems strange to him, he recorded in this chapter, Japan and Brazil. For example, Japanese, they have a different style of showing respect towards elders, that is bowing. In the same way, in Brazil, we have mania for car race. They love speed. Yet at the same time, they are lazy people. How he is proving this? So let us see in the given chapter, Japan and Brazil, when we take that chapter. Next, in the 12th chapter, we have the water. The Water is a short story written by Chinua Achebe, a Nigerian writer. In this short story, he is ironically presenting the system of democracy, the system of election, how politicians or how our so-called representatives wanted to purchase power and how the voters are ready to sell their votes. So this is a give and take policy or buy and sell policy matter. So voters are selling their votes and the leaders or politicians are purchasing the votes, purchasing the power. And this is how he is satirizing, ironically presenting the system of democracy and the system of election. Later, in the 13th chapter, that is where there is a will, so where there is a will is an essay written by P. Sainath, that is Palaguni Sainath, a popular journalist. In this essay, he presents that the weakness of women can become their strength. For this, he gives an example. In Tamil Nadu, India is one of the poorest district, that is Pudukottai. Cycling was socially banned for women, only for women. But later on, women started learning cycling along with getting education. They completely changed their lifestyle. They completely improved their social status as well as their financial status. How it happened? It was clearly explained and given with examples by Palaguni Sainath in the chapter where there is a will. At last, the 14th chapter, we have water. So water, once again it's a poem written by Challapalli Swaruparani, a Telugu writer, and it was translated by Uma Brugubandha into English. In this poem, water, Challapalli Swaruparani uses water as a medium means of exploitation of low caste people in the hands of upper caste people. Why we have this caste system? Who created it? Because of this caste system, what is happening? Because of this caste system, few category of people, few community people are dominating and even exploiting the remaining community people, remaining caste people. For example, we have Varnashrama system, that is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. In this, the three categories are considered as upper categories, the last category is considered as lower category. So why is so? What happened? That was explained in the poem Water. So here water means a medium for untouchability, a medium for exploitation of low caste people in the hands of upper caste people. Along with this, all 14 theory chapters, we have 13 grammar topics. Let us take one by one. First we have, as well as, that is, you have studied first PUC, passage comprehension. An unseen passage is given, you need to read and comprehend that passage. For 10 marks, you get 10 questions. Followed by poem comprehension. So you will get a short stanza from any one of the poem, about 4 to 5 lines. Then you need to read that poem, followed by 3 questions. If you answer correctly the 3 questions, then you will get 3 marks. Then you have verbs in passive voice. How to use the verbs in passive voice for 3 marks. Later you have idioms and phrases. Idioms and phrases for 2 marks. You will be given with 2 or 3 sentences with 2 blanks with options given. You need to fill those blanks with correct options, that is expressions, idioms and phrases for 2 marks. Then you have dialogue writing. The situation or any incident is given, you need to develop the dialogue for 4 marks. Then you have job application. An advertisement is given for a vacancy for any one of the posts you are looking for. Then you need to apply for that post. How you are going to write the letter along with covering letter and resume. So this is for 10 marks. Apart from this, you have speech writing. Speech writing is given. You need to write the speech. Any event or incident is given. For example, college day, college annual day is celebrated. You need to write a speech being the secretary of college union, students union. That is the one type. We have another type, that is report writing. One is speech writing, another one is report writing. In report writing, you will get three types. One is pie chart, second one is bar graph, third one is line graph. You may get pie chart, bar graph or line graph. Based on the given statistics, you need to write a report about 120 words, 120 to 150 words. For this you will get 5 marks. Then you have note making. A passage is given, you need to read that passage, then fill the given below boxes with right information. 8 boxes if you fill, then you will get 4 marks. Along with this, you have reported speech. So reported speech, the indirect speech. Direct speech is given, you need to read the direct speech, then convert it into indirect speech. That is called as reported speech, that is for 5 marks. Then you have pronouns for 4 marks. The passage is given with 4 pronouns underlined. You need to find out what that pronouns are referring to. What that pronouns referring to in the given passage. 4 pronouns, you will get 4 marks. At last you have jumbled segments. In one sentence, the words are misplaced. They are not given orderly, but you need to read that sentence. You need to frame a meaningful sentence by using the given words. So that is called jumbled segment. That is for 1 mark. So this is how we have the syllabus. Theory 14 chapters, grammar 13 chapters. Totally we have 27 chapters for this academic year. I think you have completely understood whatever the chapters, whatever the grammar topics we have for this academic year. For the next class, I request all the students to get your textbooks, to keep those textbooks with you. Why? Because without the text you can't follow me. I am going to read out the text. Even you need to follow the text. Then we will discuss the first chapter, Romeo and Juliet, in the next class. Hopefully you got to know about the syllabus. So till the next class, you keep looking at the syllabus, go in detail. In next class we will discuss Romeo and Juliet. Until then, take care. Bye.